everybody, and welcome back to another video. For those who don't know, it was confirmed to us a few months ago the Wings of Fire TV show is back. While it originally was going to air on Netflix, it was unfortunately cancelled, and for a long time we had very little hope of seeing the show return. Well, it was officially reported back in February that the Wings of Fire show would be a reality again. It's been taken on by Amazon Prime, and it is set to premiere on Prime Video in the future. Since we don't know much, it's fun to speculate about what's going to happen with the Wings of Fire show. And something that's really important about an animated series is its voice cast. So today I'm here to give you guys my take on who they should hire to play the different Wings of Fire dragons. These are only my personal headcanons, and I'm sure they'll pick some wonderful people. There will be voice actors who'd be better than the ones I tell you today, but I might not know who they are. It's going to be an exciting ride as we get more official news, and I'll be here to report it the entire way. But before we begin with this fan casting, a huge shout out to my patrons. 𝙈𝙊𝙍𝙁𝙊, Slightest Wild, Fizz, Thistle, Noobto, Pyronuke, and Avril. Thank you all so much for supporting me. Links to their social medias are in the description down below. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. Even though we know for sure that the show will center around Arc 1, with hopefully seasons showing the other arcs in the future, I'm still going to be sharing some fan castings for Arcs 2 and 3 characters as well. I think quite possibly the number one person to voice Qibli, if we got a season 2, would be Ben Schwartz. Even though I personally imagined Qibli with a southern accent when I read the books, Ben would be one of the best people to play this lovable Sandwing. He voiced Leo in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Sonic in the live-action Sonic films. Ben Schwartz just gives off major Qibli energy, and I think he'd be a fantastic pick. Ever since I heard him in Rise of the TMNT, I couldn't stop imagining some of Qibli's lines in his voice. The comedic timing, personality, and voice inflections just match up so well. And speaking of Sandwings, the perfect person to give voice to Blister would be Kathryn Hahn. She played Agatha Harkness in WandaVision, and I can't get over how perfectly she sounds like Blister in my head. The line delivery is just spot on, and her character Agatha acts like Blister too. I feel like those two would be best friends, not gonna lie. She'd be a wonderful choice. Choosing the best voice actors for Queen Scarlet, the most iconic villain of the first arc and beyond, would definitely be a hard task. They'd have to find someone with her thrill, ferocity, and craziness, and I think Cate Blanchett would be really good for the job. She played Hela in Thor Ragnarok and brought so much to that character. I imagine someone with a very similar voice when reading Scarlet's parts all the way back when I began the series. Cate Blanchett has that perfect sense of royalty, control, and insanity all at the same time, something that would definitely be needed for Scarlet. When I read the Wings of Fire books, I immediately had Winter's voice in my head. Just based off his dialogue and personality, he totally matched up with Vincent Tong to me. Vincent voiced Kai in the LEGO Ninjago series. The voice just needs to be a little deeper, and it'd be a perfect match. He just does a tough guy persona so well, but there are a ton of hidden layers there too. And him paired with Ben Schwartz for Qibli? I couldn't imagine anything better. And okay, my headcanon accents for the tribes don't match from dragon to dragon, but I really think that Sophia DiMartino, the actress for Sylvie in the Loki series, would be amazing for Winter's sister, Icicle. As Sylvie, Sophia just gives off the perfect sass, bravery, and other wide-ranged emotions. She's perfectly like Icicle in almost every way, and she'd be wonderful to bring to life that ferocious Icewing. When it comes to Darkstalker, Zeno Robinson really stands out to me. He played Hunter in the Owl House, and he just gives off that cocky yet calculated attitude Darkstalker has. At least if we get some kind of Darkstalker Legends content, Zeno would be awesome for this deadly animus. I think a lot of people forget that Darkstalker was only a kid throughout the events of this Legends book, and while his body did grow under the mountain, his mind pretty much stayed the same. I still think he'd have a little bit of the playfulness of a 17-year-old, and it'd show in his voice. Plus, if Darkstalker sounded dark and booming in Arc 2, I think way less people would have trusted him, including Moon. I've seen this fan cast a lot, and I completely agree with it. Evanna Lynch would make for an amazing Whiteout. She played Luna Lovegood in the Harry Potter films, and even there, her character resembled Whiteout in many ways. She'd just be awesome for the role and do Whiteout a lot of justice. Okay, hear me out on this next one. As much as Chris Pratt is overused in the industry, he'd make for a really good Blue. I'm sorry. He played Emmett in the Lego movie in Quill and the Guardians of the Galaxy films. Dude, just read Blue's lines in Emmett's voice. It's just too perfect. Chris Pratt would bring the liveliness, youth, excitability, and softness that Blue has. And of course, with Blue comes Cricket. I think Awkwafina would actually not be a bad voice for Cricket. I can totally see her playing this inquisitive, smart Hivewing. I don't know, I've just always imagined Cricket with a similar voice to Awkwafina's. She played Sisu in Raya and the Last Dragon, as well as Katie in Shang-Chi. These are just some of my headcanon Wings Fire voices, but what are yours? Who would you cast be in the official series, and would you like a part 2 to this video? Let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!